morning. Good morning, everyone. Yes. Now today's topic is latent heat of vaporization of water. It means the change of liquid into vapor form. The energy required for this is known as latent heat of vaporization. Have a look here. The energy required to change water into its vapor. Today is 18. Latent heat of vaporization. It means a liquid form change into vapor. The energy required for this is known as latent heat of vaporization. Its specific value. The specific value for water is 68 joule per gram. Joule per gram. And if we measure this in kilocalorie or calorie, it is 540 calorie per gram. It means it is for the same reason when a gram of water change into 1 gram of vapor, it requires 2268 joule energy to change 1 gram of water into vapor. If we measure this in calorie, then 1 gram water requires 540 calorie to change into vapor, and this is known as specific value of water or latent heat of vaporization. Due to this reason, we feel cool while sweating, because sweating, it means evaporation of water. Evaporation takes energy. It is for the reason that body sweat during hot weather. Our body sweat during hot weather. Evaporation of sweat. The evaporation of sweat takes energy from the body. It takes energy from the body, and body lose its energy. Due to this, we feel cool. We feel relaxed during the hot summer days. The same amount of what happened here, 1 gram of water change into vapor, it required 2268 joule energy and 540 calorie energy for the vaporization. But from vapor we absorb or take out the energy, this amount for 540 calorie and 2268 joule energy. If we absorb or substance vapor release the energy, it again change into water. And this is known as latent heat of condensation. What is here? Look here. Water, if we give it 2268 joule energy for 1 gram water, it change into vapor, right? Then if this vapor cools down, it means we are giving this energy, but when we release, then it release this energy from the vapor, it again change into water. This is known as latent heat of vaporization, and this is known as latent heat of vaporization. But from vapor to water, when vapor change into water on cooling, it is known as latent heat of condensation, and it release this much energy from this. It is more, it has more energy than water, and release this energy and change into water, and this is the process, or the energy is known as latent heat of condensation. Same here, it is the sudden release of latent heat of condensation. When sudden sudden release of latent heat of condensation that causes a violence associated with torrential rain. It means it's a big heavy rain, because so a lot of energy released from the water vapor and change into droplets and sudden fall of rain, and this type of rain is known as torrential rain. Okay, the specific heat capacity. What is specific heat capacity? When 1 gram of water, when increase of 1 degree Celsius temperature of 1 gram of water, the energy required for this is known as specific heat capacity. And what is specific heat capacity? A change of temperature 1 degree Celsius from of a 1 gram water is known as, the energy required for this is known as specific heat capacity, and it is 4.2 joule in joule and 1 calorie in calorie unit. Have a look here. Specific heat capacity. Increase of 1 degree temperature, 1 degree Celsius temperature of 1 gram water. The energy required for this is known as specific heat capacity. And it is 4.2 joule and 1 calorie in calorie unit. This is the, we require 4.2 joule energy to change 1 degree centigrade temperature of 1 gram water, or 1 calorie energy is required to change 1 degree Celsius temperature of 1 gram water, and this is known as specific heat capacity. Due to this reason, water is used for the coolant in motor car radiator or desert cooler. Because of this reason, it required this much energy to change 1 degree Celsius temperature of 1 gram water. One more importance of this specific heat capacity is land breeze and sea breeze. Land breeze and sea breeze. Near the area of ocean or water bodies, the area near the water bodies having the sea breeze and land breeze. And due to the sea breeze and land breeze, because in sometimes the earth uh, become warmer than the uh, earth become warmer easily than the water. Due to this, in hot summer region, the earth is the air on the earth is warmer than the air on the ocean, and the land breeze and sea breeze is occur there, and due to this the climate of that region near the water bodies are moderate, and they are not much hotter during the summer days and not much cooler than much cooler in winter season. The climate is moderate there. Now next is water as a universal solvent. Universal solvent. Water is a very special thing which can dissolve many substances in it. Water, a universal solvent. Solvent is a substance which can dissolve something or some substances in it. The substance which can dissolve is known as solvent. Water is a remarkable solvent. It dissolves many substances, forming aqueous solution. And due to this dissolving capacity, they forms aqueous solution. Aqueous means the solution made by the water, not only solid. It can dissolve not only solid, but it can dissolve water, gases and solid also. But also gases and other liquid dissolve in water. It is difficult to find absolutely pure water in nature. We cannot get pure water in the nature. Everywhere water is in the something mixture of some substances. It may be solid, liquid or gas. Due to this reason, water is known as universal solvent. Water has a high dielectric constant. It means as a result, it reduces the electrostatic force of attraction between positive and negative. What happens here? If there is any solvent is there, any substance, solid, liquid and can dissolve in it. Due to this reason, water can has a high dielectric constant. It means presence of these things in water, water on passing electricity, it change into H2O on electricity, passing electricity. It change into H plus ion and OH ion. This is the dielectric thing. Two ions are produced in water solution, and due to this there is positive and negative ions and dissolve in inorganic compound. If there is any inorganic compound in here, it react with the uh, chlorine ion and change into HCl. If there is any substance is there, sodium is there, it change into NaOH. So due to this high electric constant, they can form many substances while reacting on the different opposite ions or opposite radicals, and this is known as electrovalent bond. This is the electrovalent bond, positive ion, negative ion. This is the high electric constant of water. Some substances are insoluble in this. Some substances are insoluble, but they are not insoluble. They dissolve in very minute or negligible amount of some insoluble substances can dissolve in negligible amount. Negligible amount. Due to this, what happen? Even we put water in a glass vessel. If we put water in a glass vessel, we know that glass is insoluble in water and it cannot dissolve in water. But when we put water for a long time in a glass vessel, a small amount, very minute or very small amount of glass dissolve in it. We have an example for this. When distilled water is kept in sealed water for a long time, distilled water is the purest form of water. In this, there is no other substance dissolved in it. It is only water. When distilled water is kept in glass bottle for a long time, small amount of glass can dissolve in water, and due to this, after taking out the water, we can see some leaves or some roughness on the surface of glass, inner side of that bottle, and that is known as etching on the inside surface of glass. So we can say that water can dissolve a small amount of insoluble substance in it if they are kept in a they are kept for a long time. Here is an activity to show that ordinary tap water contains dissolved solid. Here is an activity. Have a look this. What we have to do, put some amount of water in a glass, watch glass, and heat them on a water bath or a beaker filled with water. Safely. What is here? Put some amount of water in a clean watch glass and place it over a beaker containing water. It's a beaker containing water. When all the water has evaporated, when all water evaporate in this dish, we can see some ringed glass. Remove it from the burner and let it cool. Remove this after some time when the old water evaporate. Remove this watch glass, and we can see some layers and some white layers we can see on the watch glass. A number of concentric rings of solid matter are seen. These are dissolved solid left behind after evaporation of water. This is the solid dissolved which are dissolved in the water and left in the watch glass. Tap water and well water contains dissolved solid, but rainwater and distilled water do not contain dissolved solids. So we can say that sometimes we hear that have a bath in a rainwater, have a bath, you can feel good and it is good for the your skin and all the things, because the rainwater is the pure water. But now these days rainwater is also not pure, because of there is a pure polluted air in the atmosphere, and that air react with water and fall on the ground with the dissolve in it. Due to this reason, when there are so many factories and textile and things at that place, rainwater is not pure. What is the importance of dissolved salt in water? Due to the dissolved capacity of water, we can have minerals in water from drinking of water. These salts and mineral reaches to the body in living organism, and these solids are helpful and essential for the growth and development of plant and living organism. And the gases have dissolved, the gases also dissolve in water. Due to this, all marine life can take oxygen from the dissolved form of the water. These solids and minerals give taste to the water, and these carbon dioxide also taking by the aquatic plant, and it is good, it is essential for the photosynthesis. Air dissolved in water. Air is also dissolved in water. O2 and CO2 and many gases can dissolve in water, and this oxygen is good for the marine life. They can take oxygen by respiration, and this carbon dioxide is taken by the aquatic plants for the photosynthesis. Another thing, nitrogen also can dissolve in water. Oxygen is more soluble in water as compared to the nitrogen. Oxygen is more soluble than water. Composition of the air dissolved in water differs from ordinary air. It is the composition of water in air is different, because the dissolved oxygen and nitrogen, carbon dioxide is different everywhere. The composition of air dissolved in water is 33%. What is the composition? Air. 33% air can dissolve in water, but oxygen can dissolve 21%, and other 66% is nitrogen, and 1% is carbon dioxide. This is the composition of air dissolved in water. Oxygen can dissolve 21%, nitrogen can dissolve 66%, and 1% is carbon dioxide. Here is a activity to show that tap water contains dissolved gases. Tap water also have dissolved gases. To prove this, here is the activity. What is it? See. Yes, here is a tap water. Set the apparatus seen in the picture. A round water flask filled with the tap water, put on a flame and boil it. Here is a burette. It's a burette. It is known as burette. And it is also filled with the water. Round bottom flask completely filled with the tap water. Arrange the apparatus in this way. Graduated tube or burette filled completely with water. This is the burette and filled it with the water and invert it over the end of the delivery tube. This is the delivery tube. It's a delivery tube. The vapor comes from this way in a trough of water. It's a trough of water or a tub of a water, beaker of a water. Heat the water in the flask. What we have to, some bubbles are seen escaping from the water. These bubbles escaping from the water and go through this delivery tube to the trough of to the burette. When this reaches to the burette, the level of water comes down in the burette. And here is the part of air. There is a air, dissolved air is here. Upper part of this, in the upper part of the burette. The water vapor present in the gases condense on cooling in contact with the cold water in the tube. What is, we can conclude, the remaining gases come from the air dissolved in water and they escape on heating. Read the volume of the gas turns thus collected. Here we can see the gases collect in this, we can see by this marks. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 and 140. We can measure the amount of air collected in this. The volume of gas collected in the graduated tube shows the presence of dissolved oxygen. These collection of gas show the presence of gases in the tap water. The solubility of gas is often expressed by the volume of that gas dissolved in certain amount of solvent. The solubility of hydrogen in water is expressed as hydrogen is expressed in 0.02 volume of hydrogen per unit volume. Of water at 0 degrees Celsius. Of chlorine at 0 degrees Celsius. The amount of hydrogen dissolved in water is 0.02 volume at 0 degrees Celsius. But the amount of chlorine is different from the hydrogen. It is 506 volume can dissolve in water at 0 degree Celsius. Gas dissolved in water can be easily expelled by boiling the water. We can remove the gases by boiling the water. Distilled water and boiled water do not have taste. The pleasant taste of drinking water is due to the presence of dissolved matter in it, dissolved substance in it. Somewhere we can see the taste is different of water from place to place because due to the presence of mineral are different at that particular area. Importance of air dissolved in water. What is the importance? Marine life like fish and oyster can survive by taking the oxygen dissolved in the water. And aquatic plant also take carbon dioxide which is dissolved in the water to make food or for the photosynthesis. One more is this: carbon dioxide dissolved in water react with limestone. What happen here in limestone? This is limestone and it takes CO2, H2O, and it can change into calcium bicarbonate. This is known as calcium bicarbonate, CaCO3 whole twice. This is from the calcium. Marine organisms such as snails, oyster extract calcium carbonate from calcium bicarbonate to build their shells, and this process is necessary and essential for making shells of snail and oyster. This is all about the dissolving capacity of water and importance of air dissolved in water. We will take this topic solution in our next class. Okay. Have a nice day. Have you any problem? Yes. If you want to ask anything, okay, I am leaving.